Welcome in to I Remember My First Time. Oh, don't be nasty,
Ooh.
Jacob. Not that first time.
Damn
This
it.
is a podcast about cinematic awakenings.
That sounds
Where we talk
delightful.
about movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
Oh, yeah. Cherry popping.
What was that?
I don't know. You didn't want to do a set opener, so I try to fuck it up as much as possible.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
God, I hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
Oh, we love shitty movies. Sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
I'm getting real tired of you asking me this question. Fuck no, we're not critics.
But do we love movies?
Oh, we love the shit out of movies. And this week, we have our second kids movie on the pod. Ooh, BJ just put on Cappy from Mario Odyssey. He has Cappy on, everyone.
Yep.
Does that tell you what we're doing? We're doing the 2013
2023.
Super Mario Bros. I meant 2023. We're doing the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie. Jack Black, Chris Pratt, Charlie Day. Who was Princess Peach? Damn
Anya
it.
Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Get ready. BJ looks like he's wearing Cappy for the whole fucking
Staying
pod.
on, baby. It's staying on. Jacob, in an insane world, it is the sane who are truly crazy.
BJ, I'm too cute to die.
I am BJ Leica, and I hate blue shells.
Joined as always by me, Jacob Beakus, and I am more than a guy who just smashes stuff. Okay?
Seth Rogen also in this movie.
Incredible. I love Donkey Kong with Seth Rogen. It was awesome.
So, Super Mario Brothers, out on Netflix now, described as magically teleported from Brooklyn to the Mushroom Kingdom. Two plucky plumbers team up with a princess and battle a tyrannical, fire-breathing turtle.
Nails it. That is what it's about.
And for the IRMFT plot summary, it doesn't really fucking matter. It's Mario the movie. Chill out.
Yeah, watch it and enjoy.
You don't need to know the details of what happens and how they get where they're at. It's a video game movie.
Yep. Watch and enjoy. It's incredible. And only 90 minutes. Short, breezy watch.
Well, as incredible as you mentioned it being, this movie is a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Not bad.
Okay.
59% on Rotten Tomatoes and 46% on Metacritic.
Fuck both those. Fuck both those. Why do critics not like this movie? It's a video game movie. I hate critics sometimes. You have to know what you're getting into.
So I'm going to sum up what the critics say in this one review. I'm going to wait to tell you what he scored it at the very end, because this is basically what all of the critics were saying. The Super Mario Bros. Movie brings together the many recognizable characters of the franchise, the musical flourishes, the colorful design, and even some replication of familiar gameplay into a brisk 90-minute package that is as critic-proof as it is largely uninspiring. 4 out of 10.
Fuck him. Fuck him and the horse he thought he rode in on.
What did you want out of the Super Mario Brothers movie?
I got everything I wanted out of this movie.
Exactly what he said.
There was one thing that I wanted more that this movie didn't give me. I wanted it to be a little less rushed. Make it an hour and 45 minutes. Give me an extra 15 minutes of world building.
I feel like the studio demand was to make this movie 90 minutes, because I think it's like 90 minutes on the dot.
It is. It's 90 minutes on the dot. And I think their next movie, with how much money this movie made, will be a little longer than 90. I don't want a 2-hour movie.
No.
I just wanted a little bit more world building. But other than that, I got everything I wanted out of this movie. That guy and every other critic can go fuck themselves with Michael Douglas's dick he never showed us.
Which we don't know if it's big or not.
Show us your dick, Michael Douglas. No, we don't. It's probably not big. It's probably not a hanger like Benny Flack. Since I did this early, I just it's been a long time since our second episode of the pod, like over 2 years now. Short little synopsis on why we yell out, "Show us your dick," Michael Douglas. He was in a movie called Basic Instinct with Sharon Stone. He got paid $15 million. He insisted that they get someone that would put it all out there just like he did. And they got Sharon Stone, and she did full nude. She even showed her what
for 600,000 compared to 15 million, where he didn't show his goddamn dick.
Thank you, BJ. $15 million to $600,000. That dude can go fuck himself. We need someone to put it all out there like me. You didn't put it all out there. So, just as a quick update on why we yell that, I don't actually want to see Michael Douglas's dick. I just thought for $15 million, he should fucking show it.
The least he can do. Quite literally, the least he can do.
100%. And Benny Flack showed his in a fucking shower in Gone Girl, so it's an easy comparison. Speaking of box office numbers, now that we've had a short little rant over that fucking critic and Michael Douglas.
Who's worse, the critic or Douglas?
They're on the same tier, but Douglas, he has to be.
Yeah.
$15 million.
Yeah, the writer for, I don't even remember, I switched pages already, who basically was like, yeah, this is a good, fun, nostalgic movie, 4 out of 10. Fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude. Okay, budget stuff. I have a bunch of budget trivia before we get to the budget. And if BJ, if you don't know this movie is chock full of trivia because of how much Nintendo shits in this movie. The fourth most attended movie in Peru after Avengers Endgame, The Lion King, and Transformers Rise of the Beast. It's the second highest grossing film to receive a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes after The Lion King. Do you know what that is? A rotten score?
So I think there's certain levels that are certified fresh versus rotten. I think it's around 60% or somewhere in that range.
It's a pun because they're tomatoes.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, as much as I hate that this was given a rotten score, I love that Rotten Tomatoes has a pun for their scoring. That's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know if there's more. I know there's certified fresh, and I know there's rotten, but I don't know if there's more levels to it or not.
There should be. I mean, if you've ever had a tomato, you fucking know how they work. This is the fifth film released during the COVID-19 pandemic to gross over $1 billion worldwide, after Spider-Man No Way Home, Top Gun Maverick, Jurassic World Domination, and Avatar The Way of the Water.
Honestly, those are some disappointing billion-dollar movies.
It's because everybody was so fucking bored being in the house. They're just like movies.
And Disney Plus was like, hey, if you pay us like $8 a month, you can watch all of the Marvel movies. So then the next one that comes out, you're going to be super excited about it.
Yep. This is the first video game adaptation to gross over $1 billion worldwide.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider didn't?
Lara Croft Tomb Raider did
we release Lara Croft Tomb Raider? Okay.
We did, yeah.
It's been a while. It was pre-break, so...
Yeah. This surpassed the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie as the highest grossing video game adaptation domestically, and surpassed Warcraft as the highest grossing video game adaptation worldwide. It also surpassed the Angry Birds movie as the highest grossing animated video game adaptation. It surpassed Illumination's own Minions as the highest grossing non-Disney animated film worldwide. The film surpassed Frozen's 2 as having the highest grossing opening worldwide for an animated film. It also achieved the highest grossing opening for a video game adaptation, surpassing Detective Pikachu. In addition, the film achieved the second highest grossing opening weekend in the US and Canada for an animated film, behind Incredibles 2, earning $146 million in a 3-day frame and $204 million in a 5-day frame over Easter weekend. On April 13th, it became the highest grossing video game adaptation of all time, surpassing Warcraft in 9 days.
So to summarize all of that, an absolute smash in the box office. They don't get bigger than this.
No, they do not. And it only had $100 million budget.
Oof. Wasn't Shrek's like $60 million in like 2001?
I have it right here. Yeah, Shrek's was $16 million, so $103 million today. And so this one's $100 million. Its opening weekend, it made it all back with $146 million.
Wow.
Its gross in the U.S. and Canada was almost $600 million. Worldwide, it brought in $1,361,945,211.
It killed in the box office.
It fucking killed. It made more internationally than it did in the U.S. and Canada, which doesn't surprise me. It's fucking Nintendo.
Yeah, and you don't even need words in this movie. The Mario musical cues are more important than the words in this movie.
Yes. This movie was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Now we go into our thoughts of the movie. I'll start it with this. BJ was actually like, Jacob, I think you're going to like this movie more than you think you're going to like it. And I'm like, dude, I know I got a hard-on for action movies, but I love kids movies. I love animated movies. And I was a Nintendo gamer growing up. Like, David and I and our childhood friend Trey, which is the whole reason we're doing this movie, because this motherfucker doesn't watch movies. He only plays video games and watches anime shows. And I'm like, dude, what is a movie that you'll watch that I can do? And he's like, dude, my life is so busy with school and my kid and work that I'm not adding anything else into my life. So you can go fuck yourself, not listening to your podcast.
Good friend.
And then he went, yeah, great friend. He does not bullshit about what he will and will not do. One of my favorite people in the world. And he was straight up, he's like, but if you do want me to listen to your podcast, I did go see the Super Mario Bros. Movie in theaters. It was fucking incredible. I loved it. There's so many Easter eggs. I think you'll love it. And if you do that on your pod, I'll listen to that episode. So here we fucking are. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
This movie was great. That's really all I have to say about what my thoughts were on this movie. It was fucking incredible. I love Jack Black as Bowser. I know everyone... all of the bad reviews, some of the good reviews, and leading up to this movie, everyone had their panties in a wad about Chris Pratt being Mario.
Yeah, I'm going to get a little into my thoughts on that in our movie-related talk.
Okay. I could care less who plays Mario. It's an animated movie. I thought they did a good job explaining why he's not Italian. So I, could care less.
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Whoop-de-doo! But yeah, that's my general thoughts on it. What are your general thoughts on it?
You know, in terms of, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, a movie doing exactly what it set out to do, this is a perfect example of that. It is riddled with nostalgia. It is super fun. It flies by. It's easy. It's nice and relaxing. Is it a great story? Is it a movie that I'm going to think about ever again? No. But this movie absolutely accomplishes everything it wants to accomplish.
Fair. All that's good shit. I will say things I liked about this movie when it comes to, like when you said, is the story great? Like, the story's not necessarily great, but I did like that they didn't make Princess Peach a princess who needed saving.
Yes.
Like, she was a little badass.
Yeah. That was like the only thing that was slightly different from the video games. Like, Princess Peach could fight back. And that was good. But like I said, the story itself, what did you want?
I wanted exactly what it was because it was like the video games.
Could they have made it a little more like Mario and Luigi brotherhood sticking together? Sure. Does it make the movie any better? I don't know. Not really.
No. Yeah. Anything you specifically liked about this movie other than the stuff we've been saying?
The music, the soundtrack, the way they implemented all the video game songs and video game movements, which obviously that's the one thing you have to nail, and they nailed it. Mario's stupid little hands behind his back run. Did I laugh when he did that? Yes, of course I laughed. Give me a break.
Of course I laughed. Did I think the Mario Kart race was wicked fucking cool? Hell yeah, I did.
Oh.
Did it look like they were playing Mario Kart 8? Hell yeah,
when they go, we need to build some carts, I was like, hell yeah, we're Mario Karting. And then they showed up on Rainbow Road. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And I loved how they built the carts. It's exactly how you build them in Mario Kart. I fucking loved it.
Spinning little...
Loved it. Oh my gosh. Anything you didn't like about it?
Obviously, this movie isn't going to win an Oscar. Obviously, there's not character development and depth and a beautifully told story. So, no, not really. Kind of wanted Mario and Peach to at least make out.
Okay. The only thing I didn't like about the movie was, again, I wanted 15 more minutes. I wanted just a little bit more world building, a little bit more Mario and Peach, Mario and Luigi. I wanted, and without a doubt, I wanted more Toad.
Oh yeah, Keegan Michael Key as Toad's wonderful.
Toad was incredible. I thought the two best performances in the movie was Jack Black as Bowser and Key as Toad.
Yeah, where would you have put that 15 minutes? Would you just kind of have sprinkled it out through the entire movie? Would you added like a couple of scenes? Or you're not really sure?
I would have sprinkled it out through the entire movie.
Okay, just maybe extend some of the personal moments.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the only thing I didn't like about the movie, and ultimately, I'm okay that they didn't do it. It's their first movie. It made way too much money for it to be their last movie.
And like I said, with it being exactly at 90 minutes, that reeks of a studio is like, we need this movie 90 minutes. I don't want you to go 95.
Yes.
I don't want you to go 100. 90 minutes, period, end of story.
I don't even want you going 92. Yeah. And this includes credits. 90 fucking minutes. So, was it a good or a bad movie? It was a great movie.
Yeah, in the sense of it purely accomplishes everything it needs to and wants to accomplish.
Agreed. This was a fun movie. I can see myself watching it multiple times.
Yeah, and you can kind of jump in whenever you want and leave whenever you want.
Yep, exactly. And you can turn this movie on in the background. Like, the next time you're playing your Nintendo Switch, turn on the Super Mario Bros. Movie. They go hand in hand. All right, BJ, you ready?
To get deep?
To get real deep. Do you know how deep?
Are you going to input this from where I said it on the last episode?
No, I'll just keep it there because I know one day you'll say it for me again. But we're getting balls deep into this movie.
Mount Rushmore time. Our 4 favorite scenes, baby.
Yes, sir. I guess I'll start her off since I'm the virgin of the episode. My number 4 scene on my Mount Rushmore is Princess Peach's wedding.
Man, what a fun fight scene.
It was an incredible fight scene. My opening quote comes from that scene. I'm not a just guy that smashes stuff. Because that's where I started.
That's fair. When Mario and Donkey Kong escape the eel. And excuse me, I'm not going to remember all the NPCs' names in the Mario games.
That's okay. I have a lot of it in trivia. Sweet. You don't have to. I love the Luminous Lumi because he was definitely like, Bowser's like, I'm going to sacrifice all of these people in your honor. And he was like, finally, mercy.
Lumi was my favorite character in the movie, actually. Yours might have been Toad. Mine was Lumi.
I had a hard time not picking Lumi because I think Toad's just that incredible, but Lumi's a close fucking second. Lumi was incredible.
More for the movie, but Lumi's sitting there. There is no sunshine, only darkness.
Yeah. Oh, fresh meat for the grinder. Your opening line in an insane world, it is the same called crazy, and then whatever Luigi said, he comes back with the only hope is the sweet relief of death. Oh my gosh. I have trivia on Lumi. I'll save it for trivia because it's incredible. But back to my number 4 scene. Princess Peach's wedding was incredible. I loved her being a little badass and just being like, you thought I would actually marry you? And Bowser just being like, yeah, kinda.
But I think my favorite part of this was Mario getting into Tanuki suit and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong goes, cool raccoon suit. He goes, really? No.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. I love how they did the power ups. I love this scene was just fun.
Yeah. I have to say my 4th favorite scene is, so I start it at the Super Mario Brothers cartoon, or not cartoon, commercial.
Okay.
Because I remember in theater when I hear that, it's a me, a Mario. I was like, no, they're not going to do this the whole movie. And then it switches to them and they're like, what's with the accents, guys? And I was like, oh, thank God. and in doing that, that little bit right there, I think it does a really good job of setting up your expectations for this movie. That, like, hey, we're gonna poke fun at all the video game stuff, and then they start running to their first job. Luigi can't jump. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Luigi not being able to jump is just a phenomenal joke. And then when they get to the house to repair the sink, just silly, fun, goofy. It really set the tone right to the movie on what to expect and what you're in store for.
That's a really good number 4 on your Mount Rushmore. My number 3 Mount Rushmore is my life, feet, and chill scene, and I wanted to put that in this life, feet, and chill, but I decided not to Eddie Guerrero that much. So instead of including that part of the intro, it's the intro to when they get into the Mario world, like Peach's world, through seeing Bowser's castle. So I love them going through the pipes. I love the castle. I loved the little when all the Toads and Princess Peach are looking at the world model. It looks just like Mario Party. I thought that was incredible. I love
when Mario and Luigi are in the sewer, it looks like Luigi's Mansion.
Yes, that. I love the obstacle course that Peach just fucking killed and Mario spent all night trying to do. And I loved him hating mushrooms. He's like, really? It had to be fucking mushrooms? It had to be mushrooms.
Mushrooms are delicious.
Mushrooms are delicious. And again, it's one of those jokes that clearly he's not Italian, because Italians love mushrooms. And then to end this life, feet, and chill scene, and I had to, being a metalhead, showing up to Bowser's castle, and it just being heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
As we get introduced. Yeah, throw up the metal sign. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, music in this movie's great. It's so cheesy and it all works perfectly. And going into that world, it kind of extends from my scene really nicely. Where again, hey, this movie, we're just paying homage to all your favorite childhood games. Sit back and enjoy it, guys.
Yep, and they did, and it was incredible. And I loved how they paid homage to all our childhood games. And it was just very much in the background and not in your face. That way kids who didn't play those games are watching this movie just enthralled by all the animation and everything else.
So my third favorite scene is in with yours, and it is Mario running the obstacle course. Because, just like he stayed up all night trying to do it and couldn't do it, that's how we played video games back in the day.
That is exactly what I said when I watched that scene. I was just like, this is very much, I can't beat this fucking level, and I'm not going to turn my console off until I do.
Next thing you know, it's 4 a.m, and you're like, shit.
Yeah. I have fucking school tomorrow.
I'm going to school on like 2 hours of sleep because I couldn't beat this stupid fucking level.
Yeah, because of course you still don't fucking beat it. Of course
not.
Incredible scene. I fucking loved it. My number 2 scene is Donkey Kong's World. It's one of my favorite courses on Mario Kart 8. I loved when they showed up and it's the cool Donkey Kong. And I love Toad just enjoying the complete fuck out of himself on the back of that cart.
Yeah, this goes into the Super Smash Brothers style fight scene between Donkey Kong and Mario.
100% it does. The Ring of Kong, him eating the small blue mushroom. We get the Seth Rogen laugh, and then DK beating the absolute shit out of Mario with all the classic DK moves.
Oh, the DK ground and pound in Smash Brothers fucked a lot of people's world up, man.
I love playing as Donkey Kong in Smash Bros. He's my guy. But that's always been me playing video games. I'm always Donkey Kong, smack fucking shit up. On Borderlands, I'm the guy that just runs in with 2 shotguns and just fuck shit up. That typically has more health than the other characters. Like I'm not the sniper. I'm not. I think when we were growing up, Trey played as Ness.
Yeah, that was Ness.
You
Ness
remember
was
Ness?
my guy on the N64.
Of course he was. Not me. I couldn't do that. I got to get close and knock the fuck out of you.
Ness was skill, baby. You had to have precision skill to play with Ness. And everyone, I would kick their ass with Ness. So they were like, I got to play with Ness. And they could not play with Ness.
That is exactly how my buddy Trey did it too. I remember David and I the first time we played against Trey, and he whooped our ass with Ness, and both of us were like, all right, motherfucker, we'll do Ness. And then Trey was like, okay, I'll be someone else. And then he kicked our ass with someone else as we were Ness.
Yeah, my favorite move to really put people in their place is I would destroy them with Ness. They'll be like, all right, I'm Ness now. And I would go get Jigglypuff and kick their ass with Jigglypuff. Because if you don't know how to play with Ness, he's just as bad as Jigglypuff if you don't know how to play with him.
Yes, 100%.
And
that's a good power move, BJ.
Thank you.
And then to end the scene, I love that Mario got the cat box and Donkey Kong made fun of him, and then Mario beat the shit out of Donkey Kong.
Awesome. My second favorite scene is the Brooklyn battle.
Okay. Honestly, that was probably my least favorite part of the movie.
Originally, I had this as my second scene because it was the Peach and Bowser wedding through the Brooklyn battle. But, I mean, we already talked enough about the Peach and wedding. So, originally, this was my Eddie Guerrero. But just fair. Going on to the Brooklyn battle, it was fun to see the Mario stuff in real life.
Yes, agreed.
It was really fun to go back to the real world and see the Mario stuff. And Mario and Luigi wrecking shop with the stars, baby. What do you want?
I mean, that was incredible. I mean, just as a little side note, I said my least favorite part of the movie, but I think this movie's fucking great. So my least favorite part ain't that fucking bad.
You are right. The Peach Bowser wedding is the better fight scene between the two. I just put them together because they roll into one, but I didn't really want to talk about
100%.
The wedding scene again. But that is, I think, the superior fight scene. I still really like the Brooklyn fight scene, bringing it to the real world.
Yeah, and I like them using the star. Yeah. That was awesome because you had to.
And it was just 45 seconds of them wrecking everybody, which is all you need.
Yes, and you probably don't end it this way because you're focusing on Brooklyn. But if I was to choose this scene, I would take it through the end with Bowser playing the piano, and then Toad coming in like, "Hey, man, shut
up." No, never mind. We still got our number one scene, which is.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say our number one scene is the exact fucking same scene.
Mario Kart.
It's the Mario Kart scene, baby.
This is honestly, this is maybe like a top 15 or 20 action scene of all time.
Agreed. And before we go on in this scene, I want every one of our listeners to know that I will kick your ass on Mario Kart whenever we post the social media for this movie. I will put my gamer tag on the description on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Come at me, bitch.
It's just going to be at really weird times because you're in Vietnam right now. So,
hey, I'm a shit talker through and through. You want to come at me? I'll make sure I'm up. Okay, like let's fucking go. But yeah, we already talked about the cart picking. Awesome way to do the carts. And I love Toad and the monster truck.
Oh yeah, Toad on the monster because it's just little Toad, and Mario's got the fitting little Indy car. Princess Peach has the pink motorcycle, and then Toad's like, "I'm in a monster truck, bitches."
Yep. I typically play a Shy Guy with the Mercedes Roadster, but the next time I play, it'll be Toad in the monster truck just to see how it goes.
Does it make a difference in Mario Kart what you choose?
100%. 100% it does. It makes a difference. The character makes a difference, and the cars.
Oh, okay. See, I just play against my kids, and I just whoop them with whatever. So.
Oh yeah, because you're not the kind of dad that's going to let them win until they can win.
Yeah. It depends on what it is.
Fair. This was my shit growing up. Trey could whoop my ass in Super Smash Bros. I whooped everybody's ass in Mario Kart.
There we go.
And I still fucking do. I will say though that when I was visiting David in Florida, it was the first time in our lives that he beat me on the old N64 courses because we played him on the Switch, and he whipped my ass.
You're a little rusty
on Rainbow Road. Actually, dude, it was crazy because like I just got to Switch 8 months ago. I hadn't had a video game console in close to a decade, and when I think back on my childhood growing up and playing Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. And all those games, the graphics in my mind are the graphics I have now with the Switch and Mario Kart 8. And then when I pulled up Mario Kart 64 and I started playing, I was like, how the fuck was I good at this game? Because this shit is fucking wild.
And Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch is pretty damn fun, too.
Oh, Trey actually gave me that game because he's just got so many games. He gave me Breath of the Wild because he, for some reason, had 2 copies of it. And then I was like, hey, I'm trying to figure out what games I want to buy. And I sent him a list of games that I want to buy. And one of my favorite games growing up was Super Mario 64. That game was incredible. Did you ever play that game when you jump into the pictures? And I read online that Super Mario Odyssey was basically the remake, so to speak, of Super Mario 64. And I was like, I have to have that fucking game because I love that game. I have to have it. And sent him this list and said that in a little description of Mario Odyssey. And he was like, dude, I actually have that game and I never play it. You can have that game before you leave for Vietnam because I'd rather someone has that game and play it than it continue to collect dust at my house.
Nice.
So guy saved me $120 on video games.
My kid has Breath of the Wild. I haven't, and I say like I've played Odyssey for maybe like 10 hours. Yeah, but I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet. But it seems really fun.
Oh, dude, I have a lot more free time than you because I don't have kids. But I've put in like 70 hours on Breath of the Wild, and I haven't unlocked all of the maps.
Damn.
The expansiveness of that game is fucking wild. I have a lot of fun with that game. I can just you can spend an hour cooking dishes for like heat resistance, cold resistance, attack power, defense power. Like you can just spend an hour cooking shit. It's fucking crazy.
All right, well, we'll get back on topic.
Back to our number one scene, Rainbow fucking Road, motherfucker, and the Mario Kart battle.
I mean, this isn't quite the Fast 5 heist through the streets of Rio, but it's not that damn far off, man. I love this scene.
It is not that far
so
off.
much.
It was so fun, and it's exactly what I wanted at this moment in the movie. At this moment in the movie, this is what I wanted, and it was fucking awesome. I don't
even want to tell anybody what happens in this scene. I just want them to go watch it because it's so fun.
There's one quote. That is how you Princess Peach, baby. She's a badass. You also get the blue shell in the scene. Just as a quick side note, you block the blue shell in Mario Kart 8 with a mushroom. Right when that blue shell gets up to you and it turns over, you hit your mushroom and you get right past that motherfucker. The mushroom is the only thing you can get in third or second place. You don't ever get it in first place. So you have to be in second or third place to get the mushroom. And then there's other ways to block the blue shell. But when you're that good and you stay in the front that often, the mushroom's the only way.
Hang out in second
the mushroom's the only way you can do it. I hang out in first, motherfucker. Like I said, I kick ass. But yeah, I don't want to keep going on the scene either because if you haven't seen this movie, you have to watch it to enjoy the hell out of the scene. It is awesome.
Honorable mention, I got to bring up the Peaches song sung by Jack Black because I'm sure you have trivia about it, but Jack Black singing Peaches is comedic gold.
Yes, agreed. Good honorable mention. Good Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Good Mount Rushmore. Ooh, that's a good movie-related talk, Beej.
Why was this movie so hated?
Yeah.
So after you told me to look up the Rotten or whatever it was called, it got
Yeah.
me thinking of why this movie was so hated. And
Okay.
and one movie that comes to mind that I think perfectly encapsulates this was the Han Solo new Star Wars spinoff, where
Okay.
people went in with their minds that it was going to be crap and they were going to hate it before they even saw it. So with that movie, there was, reshoots and recasting and director's change. There was all this behind the scenes crap. So people were like, it's definitely going to suck. And they went to see it with that, it's going to suck in their mind. And they were like, it sucked. It really didn't. It was a pretty good movie. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And I think this is the same thing. This happened like right at that time where the weird, what was the Chris Pratt thing? Like the church he went to was anti-gay or something. It was something.
Surprise, surprise, coming from a church.
Right. It was something really weird like that. So everybody hated Chris Pratt. There was the Italian voice thing everyone hated. And they just went in with the mindset of they were going to hate this movie.
Ooh.
And
it was supposed to be released in December and then got pushed to April, which I'm sure didn't help.
Again, that's like the Han Solo movie thing. And people went into it with, it's going to suck, I'm going to hate it. And they just didn't go into it like me and you were like, let's chill out. Let's watch Mario do some old school Mario things and have a good time.
Yeah. And then another thing that I know that you've probably thought of but didn't bring up was with movies like this and Star Wars and stuff like that is people have an idea of what they want the movie to be in their heads. And it has to be the exact way they want it to be in their heads. And if it's not, it sucks. Like, sorry, you're an analyst for a bank company. You don't get to make fucking movies, bro.
There's a reason you're a financial analyst.
Yeah, those are good. You're probably right. Those are good points because all I heard about when this movie was being made is how much it was going to suck.
And it didn't suck
when you
at all.
No, but when you have those preconceived notions, you go into it just already hating it. And what do you do when you already hate something? You fucking hate it.
I think there was a little bit of the Captain Marvel movie, the Brie Larson one, where everyone had it in their mind it was going to suck, mainly because that group probably hates women, and the movie didn't suck.
Got it. Yeah, you've probably nailed that. Hammer on the nail, as they say. Easy movie related talk. I love when they're easy. That's what she said. Or he said, because gay.
Unlike Chris Pratt's pasture, or whatever that story was.
I love how you called him a pasture.
I don't know what they're called. What do you want from me?
They're not called a field. That's for sure.
Rabbi?
No, you said pasture, like cows in a.
I'm gonna start doing that now. Maybe I always have and hadn't realized it.
All right, character breakdown.
Is it pastor like Mexican food, like tacos al pastor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is what they're called. Tacos al pastor. You just take out the tacos al pastor. Character breakdown. You don't have this character listed, so we'll start with them. But again, Toad was my favorite aspect of this movie. I loved whenever they were trying to get into Princess Peach's castle and the other Toads are like, no. And he was like, oh, I'm going to show y'all we're getting in. And you think he's about to go ham on these guys, and he pulls out his
skillet,
his frying pan, and starts cooking.
Yep.
Hilarious. Also, one of those bits that just reference to the old games where the Toads were just like, yeah, Princess Peach isn't in this castle. You got to go to another castle. Old Mario game.
And
little homage.
They even have the little cross swords they put over each other to not let them in.
Yeah. So, but I loved what's his full name? Because I just know him as Key.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, Keegan-Michael Key. He was incredible as Toad. Every time Toad talked, I laughed out loud.
He was the comic relief in a comedy, if you will, if that makes any sense.
And how you do that, I don't know, but it was incredible. Love Toad. All right, that's all I needed to say. On to It's a Me, Mario.
I don't really know how to break down these characters in this movie.
Uh, did you already talk about what you said you were going to talk about earlier, like why people didn't like Chris Pratt as Mario? Was it the church thing?
I think so, and the accent thing, and all the rumors, and all the behind the scenes stuff that kind of went on with this movie. But I thought he did a admirable job. I kind of like that Mario wasn't the funniest one or the most badass one or anything like that. Like, I kind of liked that fact about Mario in this.
I did too. I like that a lot, actually. And I've seen a lot of Chris Pratt stuff. If I didn't know it was Chris Pratt, I wouldn't have known any better.
I would not have either. It did not sound like Chris Pratt at all.
And I like that a lot. I really liked Mario's character for all the things that you just said. Like, he wasn't the most badass. He wasn't all of those things. He was just a guy that didn't quit. A Rudy, you might say.
Except he had a reason not to quit. Rudy had no reason to keep going.
Fair. Bowser had fucking Luigi. And he was falling for Princess Peach.
Falling hard.
Real hard. Speaking of Princess Peach.
Yeah, I thought this was a really, probably the most different thing they did from the games to the movies, where she's not just helpless, trapped prisoner Peach. She's, ruler, princess, badass Peach.
Yes. And I thought they did that great. I thought it was fantastic how they did that with her. I love that you're wearing the Cappy hat this whole episode. But yeah, Princess Peach, they couldn't have done it better. I loved how they made her a little badass. I like badass females in movies.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite thing that's happened in movies the last 10 years.
Yes. Just having them be actual characters and not plot devices, because in the video game, Peach is a plot device. In this movie, she's actually a character.
I have my bad review you're going to love when it comes to badass females in Peach.
Awesome.
You're going to love it. Yeah, it's incredible. Bowser. Jack Black is Bowser.
Funny when he needs to be funny, and kind of frightening when he needs to be frightening. Jack
Black as Bowser was the best casting choice in this movie, and it's not even close. As much as I liked Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, because Toad is a side character at absolute best.
Because this is a movie where, I just assumed that Joe Bluth, I know he's more famous than Joe Bluth, but I don't care, is voice acting the Bowser part. And I'm so glad it wasn't him, and it was Jack Black instead. And the Peaches song is just perfect Jack Blackness.
Oh, it's so awesome. And what's the one quote that he said twice? He said it 3 times, actually. Love makes the guy really come out of his shell.
It didn't work very well.
Enough can't be said at how great that casting choice was. I look forward to more movies with Jack Black as Bowser. You can change all the other voice actors if you want to. You have to keep bringing Jack Black back as Bowser.
Yeah, because Toad doesn't need to be in every movie. Princess Peach, who really cares who's voice acting that one? Same with Mario. I couldn't even tell it was Chris Pratt. And, and Luigi's more of the plot device in this movie than Princess Peach is.
Yeah. And speaking of Luigi, I thought when I learned that it was Charlie Day, I thought that was a perfect casting choice with how Luigi is presented in all of the video games and movies and whatnot.
Yeah, kind of that cowardly, sniffling performance that I thought he did a really good job in. And I could, if the next movie they did was Luigi's Mansion, and they released it as a Halloween horror comedy thing, I think that'd be fantastic.
I do too. I've never played Luigi's Mansion, but you tell me it's a good game.
It is.
I'll have to get it eventually. But yeah, Charlie Day as Luigi was incredible. And like you said, the next movie I'd like more Luigi, because he was definitely a plot device in this movie. And we didn't get a lot of him, which I'm okay with. It was a 90-minute movie. They were doing other stuff with it. but I would like the next movie to focus more on Luigi. That'd be cool. All right, BJ, what you and everybody else has been waiting for, all of my
Trivia.
I have it split up like I always do for everyone's convenience. We'll start with regular movie trivia, and there's only one way to start this trivia, and it's with the song Peaches.
Peaches.
Peaches. The song Peaches debuted at number 83 in the Billboard Hot 100, giving Jack Black his first solo hit and his first hit overall since Tenacious D's The Pick of Destiny peaked at number 78 in 2006.
Where does this rank in Jack Black? If we're counting Tenacious D, where does this rank in the catalog? Top 5?
Yeah, probably. This is a great David question because David knows the catalog of Tenacious D way better than I do. But you have Fuck Her Gently. You have the greatest song in the world.
Tribute is the greatest song in the world.
Yep. Yes. So you have Fuck Her Gently, Tribute,
Wonder Boy,
and Kickapoo. So yeah, this probably rounds out the top 5 right at 5. I'd put Peaches right at 5.
Yeah, I'm not like those 4 songs are ahead of it. I'm not sure if there is another one better than Peaches or not, but those 4 songs to me are ahead of it. But I still love Peaches.
Peaches is great. Jack Black used Darth Vader as an inspiration for his Bowser voice.
Nice.
Bowser in this film, of course, is voiced by Jack Black, of whom has best been known for voicing Po the Great Panda in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, which has been referenced with an advertisement in Nintendo's own Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart Tour as Kung Fu Lakitu and Kung Fu Master Lakitu.
Didn't know that.
Many of the actors attended the premiere of the film in outfits inspired by their characters. Chris Pratt and Charlie Day wore matching red and green suits. Jack Black wore a suit with Bowser's spikes on the back and flames on the cuffs. And Anya Taylor-Joy wore a recreation of Peaches' motorcycle outfit that's seen in the film.
How's she look in it?
I don't know. I didn't look. But probably great. Some of Bowser's roars are provided by Kenny James, the current voice actor in the games.
Cool. Glad he's still getting work.
Right? The website shown at the end of the Super Mario's plumbing commercial, smbplumbing.com, was a real site at the time of the film's release. The website gave the business's phone number as 192955Mario, and at the time of the film's release, calling that number would play a recorded message from Luigi. I wish they would still keep that so you could still call that number. Nintendo, you have the money.
I love when movies and Mike Jones and all those do that. The Mike Jones bit was for you and like 3 people.
Yeah. Southern rap, baby. Country rap tunes. Even though Mike Jones is the worst rapper in the entire world. This marks the first time in non-video game media where Princess Peach is referred to as such outside of Japan, and the second time in non-video game media she is referred to as any name other than Princess Toadstool. In Super Mario Bros. From '93, she was named Daisy.
I was always confused with the Daisy Peach thing. I can't think of a better word than thing. But that always confused me.
Yeah.
But okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
That is a hot pink jumpsuit. I love the color pink too. I think pink is fucking great.
It's skin tone dependent.
That's fair. But I just mean like as a color.
Yeah.
Like pink is an incredible color.
Like I'm not opposed to wearing pink, but it does not look good on me.
Fair. Like you said, it is skin tone dependent. The film opens with a burst pipe in Brooklyn that Mario and Luigi try to stop only to find a portal to another world. This is also how the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 1993 begins.
That one is not good.
No, that one is not good. Coincidentally, Anya Taylor-Joy began learning English while watching the movie School of Rock, on which her co-star Jack Black plays the main character. Anya Taylor-Joy has admitted to playing some of the Super Mario games as research for voicing Princess Peach. Seth Rogen does his trademark laugh almost deliberately after Mario shrinks himself to the mini mushroom during his fight with Donkey Kong. It's pretty good. That's not the only time Seth Rogen does his laugh, is it?
I thought he did it about 3 times in this movie, but I wasn't counting.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm just almost positive he does it more than just
Great
that one
stoner
time.
laugh.
Oh, it's an incredible stoner laugh, and that's how it's become trademarked as all his stoner movies. The uniforms and helmets worn by the guards at Princess Peach's palace are exact replicas of those worn by the Swiss Guard, the armed force and honor guard unit that protects the Pope and the Vatican City since their establishment in 1506.
And they got a hell of a knife.
And they got a
I
hell
can
of a
open
knife.
wine with it.
Which, honestly, that's all you need out of the Swiss Army knife. Just let me open wine.
I don't know where it is, but I once had a wine key that had like a legit knife, a pull-out attached to it. You know how you usually have the stupid curved thing to cut wine bottles?
Yeah.
I had one that had like a legit knife, like a legit knife blade on it. And I don't know where it is, and I loved that thing.
Damn. That'd be cool to see in a John Wick movie. Here's my Donkey Kong trivia. A game cabinet in the pizzeria early in the film called Jumpman. The character of Mario was originally known as Jumpman when he first appeared in the video game Donkey Kong in 1981. The character's name was changed to Mario as a tribute to the landlord of Nintendo of America's warehouse, Mario Segal.
You think they kept the Jumpman trademark, or did Jordan have to pay for that?
That's a good question. They probably didn't keep it. I just love that Donkey Kong is the first OG Super Mario character person. Love that. It's not Mario. Mario took off, but OG is DK.
Mario was Jumpman at the time. I think DK's like, I remember you when you were just Jumpman.
Pussy. The studio behind the film, Illumination Entertainment, previously referenced the Mario games in a few of their other films. Both The Lorax and Despicable Me 3 had mentions of Donkey Kong, referring to the original arcade game of the same name. And The Secret Life of Pets had a scene where a turtle shell slides along the ground, knocking out things in its path, like Koopa Troopa shells do.
Nice.
The red girders in the jungle arena, as well as Donkey Kong throwing barrels at Mario, are a reference to the original Donkey Kong arcade game. Luigi actually first appeared in the TV ad for the first Mario Bros. Video game in 1983. Played by a live actor, it was the first ad to be set entirely within a game world.
I bet that blew 1983's people's minds away.
I bet it did too, and I wanna go check it out because why the fuck not? Nintendo's a Japanese company, right?
I'm 98% sure.
Well, I'm sorry to the Japanese, the other colonial overlord in Asia, Shigeru Matsumoto. That is not how you say that name. Originally wanted Donkey Kong to be a game based on the Popeye comic strip. After failing to secure the rights, he replaced Popeye, Pluto, and Olive Oil with Mario, Donkey Kong, and Pauline, respectively. Nintendo, though, eventually did secure the rights and produced the 1982 film Popeye.
I loved Popeye as a kid. I made my parents get a can of creamed spinach, and I tried to eat it right out of the can, like Popeye. I would not recommend it.
Do you still eat spinach to this day?
Not canned spinach, but I eat regular spinach quite often.
Okay. The rap that plays when Donkey Kong is introduced in the arena is the DK rap, a song that plays in the introduction to the game Donkey Kong 64, my first console.
I had the NES, but not for that long.
Nice. I remember my dad bought our first console whenever he was in the Navy. He went on base to buy it tax-free with David and myself in tow.
Hell yeah.
We were so fucking excited. Yeah. So fucking excited.
How much liquor did he get
music played
going to the naval base that day?
Dude, I don't know what. I stopped talking to my dad when I was 12, so I don't have that memory. The music played during Mario and Luigi. Oh, this is Mario trivia, by the way. The music played during Mario and Luigi's plumbing commercial is actually the theme music of the kids show, The Super Mario Bros. Super Show from 1989. In the movie, Mario wears two suits, Cat and Tanuki. Cat Mario was introduced in Super Mario 3D World, which allowed Mario to climb or cling to walls, claw swipe enemies, and to claw dive on enemies from midair to slam into them. while Tanuki Mario was introduced in Super Mario Bros. 3, which not only allowed Mario to fly, but turned him into a statue for a few seconds, which gave Mario invulnerability.
That was a game changer in Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, that was 4 years before I existed, but I can imagine. In the plumbing commercial, Mario and Luigi appear making a poor visual effect pretending to fly over New York City using a yellow cape. It's a hint for a suit named Cape Mario, which was introduced in Super Mario World in 1990. The suit is obtained getting a cape feather, which grants the player the ability to fly indefinitely through the levels and attack enemies by spinning it around. In addition, while falling with Caped Mario, the player can float down slowly. I have how to do it too. If anybody plays these games and they don't want to figure out how to do it before getting on the games, just go to IMDb trivia.
It has all the secret buttons and passageways.
Yeah. All right, this is Nintendo / Mario trivia. At the beginning of the movie, Mario and Luigi had to run their first job. This is not only a recreation of the classic side-scrolling action from the original 8-bit Super Mario in a NES game, which was one of your favorite scenes, but also at the end, Mario jumps to a pole of a restaurant called Castle Burger. The way he slides from it is exactly how he does in the game. Also, the shape of the restaurant is the same as the castles at the end of every stage.
Yep. Woohoo!
I have to say, as I walk through Southeast Asia, sometimes since watching this movie, I'll look at them and go, "It's me, a Mario."
I could,
Yeah.
it has that effect.
It very much does.
It's like after I watch a
When
movie based in Boston, I'm like, hey babe, I got to go to the market.
When Mario goes to his room, he is seen playing Kid Icarus on the original Nintendo NES console. This is referenced in twofold. First, Mario playing his NES is a reference to the opening of an anime film, Super Mario Bros. Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach from '86, that shows Mario playing a version of Super Mario Bros. '85 on the original Nintendo Family Computer, Famicom. Second, the game Mario is playing on his NES is Kid Icarus, a Nintendo game that is loosely based on the Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, Icarus was the son of Deladius,
Flew too close to the sun.
and not to flow too low or too high, because the sea's dampness could cause his wings. This is a metaphor for the Mario's relationship with his own father, who disapproves of Mario's decision to leave his steady job and blames Mario for bringing his brother Luigi along with him, while Mario just wants to make his father proud.
Deep stuff.
Real deep. Too bad I'm a disappointment. That's never going to get old, since my dad officially disowned all of us because I showed up at it. Since I showed up at his house for the first time in 10 years, it'll never get old me saying I disappoint him. Maybe one day he'll listen to my podcast, but because I'm such a disappointment, I highly doubt
it. He is not welcome on the pod.
No, he's not welcome on the pod. Fuck him. The Super Mario Bros. Plumbing Vans logo is the logo font that's been used since the original Super Mario Bros. Game from '85. Additionally, the images of the brothers on the van are old promotional images from the game's early days. When Mario and Luigi descend to the sewer in order to stop the water flow, they inadvertently break through a wall and find an unused part of the sewer, which has a sign that states level 1-2. This alludes to an infamous glitch from the original Super Mario Bros. Game. In World 1-2, a sewer level, the player could jump through a curtain wall and end up in a warp zone that led to the Minus World. For many years, fans believed that this was a secret world built into the game, while in reality, it was a glitch that led to an improperly loaded environment, creating an unwinnable situation. In the movie, level 1-2 contains a portal to the Mushroom Kingdom, thereby genuinely giving access to a secret world.
Yeah, if you ever make a mistake, just always claim it was on purpose.
Always. When Mario and Luigi are working their first plumbing job, the woman is seen reading the book entitled Galaxy with a planet from Super Mario Galaxy from 2007. The Easter eggs in this movie is
There's
fucking
an
nuts.
untold many of them.
After obtaining the Super Leaf power-up, Donkey Kong comments on Mario looking like a raccoon. Later, Luigi asks Mario why he's dressed like a bear. This is a reference to Super Mario Bros. 3, where the Super Leaf power-up was introduced to Mario and to Raccoon Mario. But another, much rarer power-up can be found that turns Mario into Tanuki Mario. The power-up looks like a teddy bear, but Mario's form is meant to resemble a Japanese tanuki, also known as a raccoon dog. Despite the differences in appearance, Raccoon Mario and Tanuki Mario share the same game mechanics associated with flying.
So a raccoon dog different than a coon hound?
I guess. I'll look up Japanese Tanuki later, because it's a good question. But now we know what Tanuki Mario is based off of. It's based off a dog, not a little bear.
Bear dog. A dog bear?
Japanese are weird, dude.
It's like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where every animal is two animals combined.
Yeah, exactly. When Mario and Toad try to enter Princess Peach's castle, two Toad guards joke that the princess is in another castle. This is a reference to the original Super Mario Bros. Game, where at the end of each world, a Toad would say, "Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle."
That was so annoying.
During the fight scene, Mario and Luigi grab Bowser by the tail, spinning him around and throw him. This is how Mario defeats Bowser all 3 times in Super Mario 64, which was one of my favorite fucking games growing up. Love Super Mario 64. That shit slaps. When Mario walks in front of the antique shop in Mushroom City, inside the shop it can be found some items from Super Mario Bros. 3. Are you ready for all these? Because this is heavy Easter.
Rattle them off.
Lakitu's Cloud is used by Mario and Luigi to skip a level in a map. Hammer, it's the weapon Mario and Luigi use when they acquire Hammer Suit. Music Box serves to make enemies go to sleep and can only be used on the map. P-Wing gives Mario the ability to fly permanently for a level. P-Switch is something that must be activated by jumping on it. Upon activation, all brick blocks from an area are turned into coins and vice versa, just for 10 seconds. They also appear on-screen blue coins that are hidden in some levels. There are, like I said, so many Easter eggs. Here's my Nintendo trivia. One of the Desians of Brooklyn seen trying to exit a car in the opening and in the crowd at the end of the film bears a striking resemblance to Kit Ellis, a former employee of Nintendo who is perhaps best known as a co-host for Nintendo Minute, a YouTube series that ran from 2013 to 2021. Ellis and his friend and co-host Krista Yang attended the movie's premiere in Los Angeles and were delighted to see the character.
Maybe we'll be in a movie one day.
Dude, if this was me and I ran a fucking YouTube series and then randomly was put in a movie that I went to the premiere of, I'd be so fucking excited.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I just wanted to say I'd be Tits McGee from Anchorman, but I'd be fucking Tits McGee. I don't know what that means. I don't really care.
I don't think you used that properly.
I 100% did not. A billboard that can be seen in the background on one of the buildings in Brooklyn features an advertisement for Handufa cards. Nintendo was originally founded in 1889 for the purpose of producing and selling handcrafted Handufa cards. Nintendo has focused on video games since the 70s, but continues to produce cards in Japan, including themes based on Mario, Pokemon, and Kirby.
Sweet. Well, card company.
I had no idea Kirby had cards.
Like what if Fleer just started making video games?
Right. Like, here you go. Or Uno. I almost said Skippo, but Skippo's so fucking old. Designs for Mario and Luigi's parents and relatives are based on sketches made by Nintendo that went unused in games. When Luigi's phone rings, his ringtone is the startup jingle from the Nintendo GameCube. The default caller icon also resembles the default Mii on the Nintendo Wii system since the Wii. This trivia is specifically for the person we're doing this podcast for, my buddy Trey. Because to this day, this motherfucker still owns the Nintendo GameCube for one single game. It's his favorite Mario game that they've ever made, and it's Paper Mario,
okay.
which they are finally re-releasing. They're remastering it for the Switch.
I think it's already on the Switch.
Well, when he told me it, when he told me it wasn't.
I may be thinking of 3D World. I know my kids got one. It's like a dual game combo. I know it's with Bowser's Fury, but it could be 3D World.
Oh yeah, it's 3D World because I've seen that one. It's not
Okay.
Paper
Okay.
Mario, but I love Nintendo just always doing their own thing. Because I don't know, do you know what the GameCube is? Did you ever
Yeah.
play it?
That was
Those tiny little ass discs. Nintendo's like, we do our own thing. We're gonna make this whole new kind of system that requires different kind of discs. You're welcome.
yeah, they were like little mini CDs,
Yeah, midget CDs. I think is
little people CDs.
sorry, little people CDs. Correct. A French restaurant called Chasseur du Canard can be seen in the background of some shots in Brooklyn. Chanus du Canard translates as duck hunt. Another early Nintendo game, which was often packaged with the Super Mario Bros. The restaurant logo is a duck from Duck Hunt in the 1984 game.
Great game.
I'm going to take your word for it. I
It
never
came
played
with a
it.
little shotgun.
Great game. I've never even played it, but great game. One of the residents in the Mushroom Kingdom is seen buying a Nintendo Entertainment System cartridge at the antique store. The owner of the store tells him to blow into it to get it to work, a reference to how many gamers would have to blow into NES cartridges to get errant dust out of them. Or Nintendo 64 games or Game Boy games.
Yeah, yeah. I went through many a games in my
BJ,
childhood.
who knew our childhood was filled with so many goddamn blowjobs?
Have you seen the robot chicken sketch of that?
Have I
I
seen
think
what?
it's the robot chicken sketch of that where the games are hanging out and he's like, "Hey, just get really fuzzy before you start up." And the new game's like, "What?" And then he does it, and the kid blows at him, and he's just like, "Oh my god, oh that's it."
No, you'll have to
All
send it
right,
to me. That sounds awesome. Princess Peach's castle is strongly influenced by Peach's castle in my game, Super Mario 64. The exterior is the same, along with the stained glass window of the princess. The interior is lined with portraits of different locations or levels. The castle theme from Super Mario 64 also plays during the reveal of the castle. I love that game so much. When Mario and Toad enter the Mushroom Kingdom, you can see the crazy cap store in the background. This can be found and used to purchase costumes in Super Mario Odyssey. And yes, BJ is still wearing the fucking cap that he started the pod with.
Cappy doesn't go away.
No, Cappy don't go away. He can't go away. And I don't know if I've said this already in the pod. I forget now, but my buddy Trey also just gave me the Super Mario Odyssey game. He was like, "Here you go, bro." He's like, "I have too many games. This one just sits and collects dust. And since you're mentioning that you might want to buy it, why don't you just take this one? That way, it doesn't continue to collect dust in my house."
It's pretty good. I've played
So
my kids a time or two. It's pretty fun.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm really getting into it, but I still have so much of Breath of the Wild to play, so I haven't really got into it as much as I want. I think I've put in like 80 hours in Breath of the Wild, and I still haven't unlocked all of the map.
Oh man,
It's fucking crazy, dude. When Bowser directs the bomber build towards Peach's castle, this is a reference to Super Mario Bros. Melee, where a bomber build does the same. I think we talked about this earlier, but Super Smash Bros. Melee, you and my buddy Trey are the same person because y'all would use what's his name? The little electric
Ness.
dude? Yeah, y'all use Ness, and that dude could kick
If
ass.
you knew how to play with him.
Yeah. If you didn't know how to play with him, like you mentioned, you could kick your ass at Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Above the TV in Mario's room is a model Air Wing, the principal aircraft of the Star Fox team in the Star Fox video games. Charles Marionette, the voice of Mario in the video game series since '91, he also voices Wario and Waluigi, voice Giuseppe in this movie. Giuseppe is the character that is playing an arcade game called Chumpman and Punch Out Pizzeria, and says the Mario Bros accents are perfect after seeing their commercial on TV. Giuseppe physically bears a close resemblance to the original look of Jumpman Mario on the Donkey Kong arcade game, complete with the matching red hat and overalls with the blue shirt. At the end of the film, Giuseppe is shown jumping in the air, exclaiming, "Wahoo!" in the exact same pose as the original Jumpman Mario in the game. Marionette also voices Mario and Luigi's father in the movie.
Nice.
Here you go, BJ. This one's for you. The little blue star, who is a prisoner of Bowser, is Lumali, a character introduced in Super Mario Galaxy. It is used as a shop by Mario and Luigi, where they can buy a life mushroom for 30 star bits. An interesting fact, used in the movie as a comedic gag, is that Lumali is depicted as a dark timing, depressed, and suicidal character obsessed with death. The explanation about his personality comes from the game. At the end of it, all Lumini's race, jump themselves into a black hole to save the universe of a cosmic catastrophe. Eventually, they return in Super Mario Galaxy 2 as gestating celestial bodies race. Loomis can transform into planets, stars, or entire galaxies when they fulfill their life cycle.
Yeah, if I was going to turn into a galaxy, I'd be suicidal as well.
I love the things that we put in kids movies and kids games. They're just like, here you go, have this to chew on, little shit.
In an insane world, it is the sane who are crazy.
All right, here's my Mario Kart trivia, because I have to have own separate Mario Kart trivia, because I will post my gamer tag whenever I do the social media posting for this movie, and I will be ready to whoop some ass. Anybody can come at me. And I'm not talking about the original games that you can play when you have online access, when you can download old consoles. I'm talking about Mario Kart 8. I will kick your ass. Let's fucking go. I'm ready. I'm hyped up. During the Rainbow Road chase, Mario flies off the edge of the road and lands down on the bottom part of the road to get away. In Mario Kart 64, there is a huge shortcut on Rainbow Road level where you did the exact same
That's
thing.
right.
That level in the original or in Mario Kart 64 is like 6 minutes long, 7 minutes long.
That's an intense race.
It's so fucking intense. I remember because like when I think back on growing up and I think of playing the video games growing up, my memory bank remembers Mario Kart 64 with the same graphics that Mario Kart 8 has. And when I got my Switch this last year, I got online access, got the Nintendo 64, and started playing Mario Kart 64. And I was like, dude, how the fuck was I ever good at this game? This game is fucking wild. But I kicked ass as a kid. That was the game I could beat Trey in. Mario Kart 64. Anyways, after Donkey Kong explodes Koopa's big cart during the Rainbow Road chase, he emerges enraged from the fire, turning into a flying blue shell, which flies around Kong's cart before destroying it and the Rainbow Road. Also named Spinny Shell or Blue Shell. The character is introduced in Mario Kart 64 as the most rare item to get in the game. A white, spinny, flying blue turtle shell with a vast destructive power for breaking walls and blowing away the first place cart.
Fuck that shell.
Fuck that shell. I know how to get rid of it a couple ways in Mario Kart 8, and I'm not going to share how because I think I've already done it once in this pod, but there are a couple other ways. And I keep it for me because I like whooping that ass. I also like shit talking. So if you get online and actually beat me, I mean, I'm pretty good, but I'm too much of a shit talker to care. Speaking of shit talking, after the 49ers lost the Super Bowl, BJ, one of my friends on Facebook was like, this game the NFL is as rigged as wrestling. Fuck this. Mentions one of their friends. I'll tell you my information at work. And then she's like, I'm out. And I comment and I'm like, wait, so you mean I could have just said it was rigged when Green Bay played 3.5 better quarters than the 49ers in the divisional game and been okay?
No, it wasn't rigged then. It's only
that's all I had?
It's only rigged against his team.
Fair. The countdown sound from Mario Kart 8 is used for the Illumination Entertainment logo. The various carts and bikes all have gliders as first introduced in Mario Kart 7. Certain scenes heavily reference the Mario Kart video games, including tracks, music, vehicles, weapons, and even the in-game kart selection screen, which was so fucking cool. We've already talked about that in the Mount Rushmore, but so fucking cool. Peach is shown wearing the biking jumpsuit that debuted in Mario Kart Wii, and Toad's monster truck cart makes the same noise as his horn in Mario Kart 8.
I didn't know they had horns in Mario Kart 8.
I didn't either, and I play it all the time. All right, I'm going to end my trivia with character trivia from Nintendo. At the prologue, Bowser invades Snow Kingdom, defeating King Penguin and his penguin army to get the superstar. King Penguin is a character created specifically for the movie, not having any previous apparition in any Super Mario video game. And now I'm ready for King Penguin in a Mario game, because you know it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. King Penguin was great.
But I thought King Penguin was fucking awesome. At Peach's wedding, there are some cameos of popular characters in the Mario and Donkey Kong franchises. Diddy and Dixie Kong sit down in the crowd of the Kong Arena during the duel between Mario and Donkey Kong. They both appeared in Donkey Kong Country from 94, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Conquest from 95. Next to Diddy can be seen Chunky Kong, who first appeared in Donkey Kong 64. King Bomb in Bowser's Wedding, who's the big black bomb with a big white mustache and yellow crown for anybody that doesn't know Nintendo and is listening to this pod for whatever reason. The character first appeared in Super Mario 64. I think he's the first boss you beat. Anyways, King Boo in Bowser's Wedding, a large white flying ghost. The character first appeared in Luigi's Mansion in 2001, which I believe you enjoy that game a lot.
Yeah, the Luigi Mansion ones are pretty good.
When Bowser announces his plan to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom and marry Princess Peach, he salutes his armies, referring to each of them as Koopas, Goombas, and whatever those things are. All these enemies are from Mario video game franchises. Koopa is a race of yellow-green shelled turtles used by Bowser as foot soldiers throughout the game levels. Goomba is a race of living brown mushroom with two fangs protruding from their mouth. The third type of Bowser soldiers are actually known as Spiny, a small red spine-shelled turtle which can't be smashed because of the spines. They were all introduced in Super Mario Bros. From 85. The look of Mario's father is based on the character's design from the Legend of Zelda character Talon, who first appeared in the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Mario's father and Talon are bald-headed with a lot of hair on their forearms and have a mustache that extends to their sideburn. Ironically, Talon's design was actually based on Mario.
Well, that sounds like me without the mustache connecting to the beard.
I wish I could do that, but my mustache game is too weak. And by too weak, I mean too blonde. My mustache isn't that bad, but it's too blonde, so it looks like shit when I do something like that. But did you ever play Ocarina of Time?
I don't think so.
There were specific games that, like, I'm not a gamer like my buddy Trey or even like David, who's not even like Trey, but way more than me. But I will always love video games and I'll always play them. I mean, I'm 32 and I have my own Switch. It's not my kids because I don't have kids. But like Mario Kart 64, 007 GoldenEye, Super Smash Bros., and Ocarina of Time, those are the 4 games that like were instrumental in my childhood. And Ocarina of Time was like one of those first, that at least that I remember, of an open world game. And it was so fucking cool. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll actually play it because they have it on the 64 thing that you can download on the Switch. When Luigi lands in the Darklands, his encounters and flickering flashlight are references to
the Luigi's Mansion.
Correct. Although Toad debuted in Super Mario Bros. In 85, his look in the movie comes from Super Smash Bros. From 2008. Although the film is obviously based on Mario, there are many references to other Nintendo franchises. The pizzeria is called Punch-Out Pizzeria after the video game Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, shortened as Punch-Out when Mike Tyson wasn't related to it, in which Mario has a cameo as the referee, which is so cool. And a model of an Airwig fighter from Star Fox can be seen in Mario's bedroom, as well as a poster of Captain Falcon's blue pod racer from F-Zero and sequels. Additionally, the game that Mario plays in his bedroom, like we mentioned earlier, Kiddick. Kamek's first appearance in a non-video game media, as well as first time he has had an English voice actor. When Luigi arrives in the Darklands, he faces a skeleton turtle, which he smashes by chance, only for it to reform once again seconds later. This character is Dry Bones, which was introduced for the first time in Super Mario Bros. 3 from 88, appearing only in the various castle levels. Since it's an undead turtle, it can't be defeated, only briefly smashed by the player to allow the time necessary to pass before it comes back.
Better haul ass.
Better haul ass, dude. And to end my trivia, when Mario and Kong fall into the ocean, they can be seen underwater with little white squid-like creatures. These are bloopers, a trademark of the franchise since their introduction in Super Mario Bros. 85. And without doubt, the most annoying item to be faced with in Mario Kart.
Yeah. It's because it's not like the blue shell where it's like, yeah, whatever. I was in first. I got taken out. it's just annoying.
Yeah, and it never splashes on the same part of your screen. It's always fucking different.
And most of the time, it
But yeah,
doesn't
that's
even affect the race. It's just annoying.
yep. Well, that's my trivia.
Hefty amount for this episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was there's so many Easter eggs, and there's so much fun shit to like read about on the trivia that I had a hard time leaving stuff out. But
Yeah,
fuck
because
it.
it's not even like movie trivia. It's just straight up Nintendo trivia.
Exactly. And I mean, for the people that go watch this movie and the people that are listening to this podcast, they fucking love the Nintendo trivia because kids aren't listening to this podcast. They don't know anything about the Nintendo trivia. It's all old fucks like us.
Yeah, I would hope people don't have kids listening to this podcast.
Wait, do what
I
now? Say it
hope
again.
I hope parents aren't letting their kids listen to this podcast.
Don't hold out on my brother. He took his 11-year-old daughters to see Violent Night, so he probably lets them listen
Yeah,
to the
well, wait
pod.
till you hear my impersonation and then tell me if kids should listen.
Speaking of impersonations, what do we got this time, Beach?
It's dealer's choice. You got plenty to choose from in this movie. Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Bowser, whatever you want to do. I'm going to go with Mario because, why not? Princess Peach, let me ask one thing. Since Mario saved you, can Mario get a little sucky fucky?
BJ.
Did you not get any of that?
I got all the way to where you said fuck.
Oh, that was it.
That's all you
Yeah.
got?
I just wanted to say sucky fucky in a Mario accent.
Okay. Let's see. What, BJ, remind me, because I forget now, what does Bowser say about love in the movie?
Oh, I don't remember.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to find out.
Oh, so while you're looking, so I told Basil, I was like I showed Basil where we keep the guns. I'm like, so if me and Ronnie aren't here, I was like, here it is. And I was like, it's a 22, so it's a small caliber. So empty the clip, and if they're still standing, throw the gun at them and run.
Yes. And what did Basil say?
He was like, even if it's a small caliber, there's 13 rounds in here, and I'm like, yes, it's plenty.
Yeah. I love people's lack of sense of humor sometimes. Basil's one of those people that has a very, very dry sense of humor. Like, you think you have a dry sense of humor? Basil has a
Yeah.
dry sense of humor. Okay, here we go. I got to do Bowser because I think it's easier to do Bowser's and a Bowser impersonation than it is Donkey Kong.
Okay.
So here I go. Yeah, my name's Bowser, and I'm gonna fuck. Cause I guess love really makes a guy come out of his shell. And Peach, you're gonna love what I can do to peaches. I can eat a peach for hours. That's what I got. I wanted to do some face off.
You think that's what the song "Going to the Country, Gonna Eat a Lot of Peaches" is about?
100%
Yeah,
I do.
just eating peach.
There's no eating peaches. There's no doubt in my mind. After Nicolas Cage said I can eat a peach for hours numerous times in Face Off and clearly talking about cunnilingus. God, yes! I was able to say cunnilingus in a podcast episode. 100% that's what that song's about.
Going to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches.
All right, final thoughts on the movie in general. What, BJ? Actually, you know what? I'll go first because I was the virgin of this movie. My rating of this movie. I'm going to rate this movie a 9.2.
Okay. All right.
I'd give I would give it a straight 10 or at least over 9.5 if we would have had 15 more minutes of world building. It just seemed a little bit rushed to me, but I got everything I wanted out of this movie. I got all my laughs, I got all the references, new stuff. Everything was great. So, but if I just had 15 minutes more of world building, which, like we've talked about, I think the hard 90-minute cutoff was very much a studio thing with how much money this movie made and
Yeah,
everything
it would
else.
have.
The next Nintendo movie they do, there will be, it'll be 105 minutes. I don't think you need anything longer than 105 minutes for a Nintendo movie. Just make another one in a couple years. But I would have loved 15 more minutes.
Yeah, and when you see like the 90-minute exactly movie, you're like, oh, that was a studio mandate.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's quite as good as you thought it was, but at the end of the day, this is a movie that accomplishes everything it needs to accomplish. It gives you all the nostalgia, it's fun, it's visually stunning. I think this movie is an 8.4. It gives you everything you wanted from this movie going into this movie. So, you know, if you didn't like it, it's kind of like, what did you want here exactly? I thought this movie just delivered.
Agreed. I think that's a good rating. I don't see anybody arguing with your rating. I certainly won't. Should they remake this movie? No, just make
Yeah, and
sequels. Make all
and
the
they're
sequels.
going to make sequels. It made too much money.
Yes, and I'm down for it. All right, are you ready for my good and bad IMDb reviews?
I guess.
The good one is clearly from a SpongeBob fan. His name is Plankton Rules 4.
Guy likes him a Krabby Patty.
He likes crabs from Bikini Bottom, if you know what I mean. You know what
That's an STD joke. I get it.
I mean? The good reviews on IMDb were so hard to find. I went through so fucking many. It was actually kind of annoying. So this is the best that I got. It's 8 out of 10, titled Deep question mark? Nah, dot dot dot. But a delight to watch.
So basically, exactly what I just said about it.
Yes. If you are looking for something deep and life changing, then the Super Mario Bros. Movie is not for you. If you're looking for mindless fun and some amazing animation, then this movie is definitely for you. The story is essentially like watching an insanely beautiful walkthrough of a game made up of bits and pieces of all the Brothers game. No surprises, except when it comes to the animation, which is amazing to see and makes this a great film for the big screen. Considering the many existing reviews, I won't say a lot more other than it's loads of fun and should work for anyone just wanting a good time.
Perfect. What was the reason for all the good reviews being boring?
I mean, they just a lot of them with parents
Okay.
talking about just how good of a movie it was for kids and that there wasn't any innuendos and stuff like that.
Woke
And then
Hollywood
the
didn't get a
ones that
hold of it.
exactly, and then the other ones that were boring were just this is exactly what I wanted. The nostalgia, all that stuff. And like we've gone over all that in trivia. You don't need to hear more of that from a review. And you know, the big thing about our reviews is we have to try to find funny ones, and I couldn't find any funny good ones.
Yeah. So you just gave a very well written one.
Yep. Now, my bad one is fantastic. And you're going to want to interject on this, but let's get through it and then we can dissect this weirdo. 2 out of 10, titled What a Mess by Penofin Sparin Eratin 17. Well, whatever the fuck his name is. Did I watch a different movie? Or did I watch a different Mario? Because it seems most of these reviews watch something from Planet Jehovah. Why? 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 Look, I get it. We are in the women empowerment spectrum. But this thing of having women suddenly indestructible with 1,000 IQs in a world of dumb men is absurd. Way more than Bollywood fiction. Whose idea was it that an adult tortoise looking dragon would obsess over a child? It's some subtle, concrete, sick pedo thing going on in there. This was like a movie showing a game while trying to be in the game, but in the end, that was the movie. To tell me this felt like a Nintendo billboard for what Mario could have been if it was an open world on Xbox. I'll tell you for free, this is the stuff you play in your kid's playroom just to add on the whole warm look.
Okay. Wait.
Which part do you want to tackle first?
I kind of wanted to go for the women empowerment first because, like,
Let's do that.
it wasn't out of nowhere. Like, she was the ruler of a kingdom and dominated that fucking obstacle course the first time we see her.
Yep. And it's like I like that she was badass versus the Princess Peach that always needs rescuing in the games.
Yeah, like she still needed to be rescued, but she was also independent enough. I definitely wasn't watching that movie being like, why is Princess Peach such a badass?
Plus, the first time I ever woke up in the middle of the night with a cramp in my calf, and then I put two and two together, and I was like, "Wait, women have this feeling in their uterus stomach area for 5 days out of every month? Yeah, they're better than men. I don't know what to say. like,
Tougher at
this fucking
tougher at
sucks.
the very least.
At the very least, tougher. I when that happens to me, I can't stand it. I'm in the most pain I could ever possibly imagine. And then I think they go through that once a month and then give birth sometimes. I'm okay with them being tougher. Like they are. Men are just stronger. And there's a reason that men can beat the shit out of women and women still get up and go to work. Not saying that's right. I'm just saying they're fucking tougher. So yeah, idiot right there. Now let's get to
the other thing, the part where it was a game inside a movie, inside a movie, inside a game. I'm like, yep, and
yeah, like I guarantee you, this guy watched The Matrix and fucking loved that movie. Shut the fuck up, dude. And you knew that's what this movie was gonna be. You shouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Now
I
let's
didn't
get to
think the movie was a mess at all. I thought it was a pretty clean ride all the way through.
BJ, that's because it fucking was, my friend. That's because it fucking was. Now, let's get to the glaring part of this review. Whose idea was it that an adult tortoise-looking dragon should obsess over a child? It's some subtle, concrete, sick pedo shit going on in there. And then to end it with, this is the stuff you play in your kid's playroom just to add on the whole warm look. Like, first of all, if you think pedophile stuff's going on in this movie, why the fuck would you play it in your kid's room?
Princess Peach is a grown ass woman, isn't she?
I know she's a grown ass woman. We'll get there. I'm just saying, if you think pedo stuff is going on in this movie, why the fuck would you play this in your kid's playroom? He straight up said, this is what you play in your kid's playroom after calling it pedo shit.
I didn't understand that part. Like I get it. You put on a movie to distract the kids for a little bit, but like, were they saying it like ties the essence of the room together with this movie playing or something? I was wildly confused.
Also, does he not realize Mario is also an adult that liked Princess Peach? We'll get to the fact that Princess Peach is an adult here in a second. Does this guy understand that Mario's an adult too that's attracted to this person he thinks a child?
And like, you're talking about a world where a child is running a nation full of turtles.
Yeah.
What is
like
you like
Princess Peach is an adult.
Okay, I think
the adult tortoise is attracted to an adult princess.
I think this is a Doubt project too much. Like, why are you thinking Princess Peach is underage? Are you on some weird pedo shit?
That's what it is. You nailed it. I hope Penno Fifth Bratton 17 listens to our pod. My favorite thing about doing the reviews is I call these people out by their usernames, and if they ever listen to our pod, they'll fucking know it. Oh man. Now the question of the pod, BJ.
Do I recommend this to people?
Should people watch this movie?
If you grew up playing Mario, Donkey Kong, and other Nintendo games and you enjoyed it, absolutely you should watch this game. If you have no idea who Super Mario is, this is probably a really weird fucking movie for you.
But you'll probably enjoy it if you like animation, so
Yeah,
sure.
it looks great.
Well, I agree with all that. I'm glad we did this movie. I'm glad my buddy can listen to an episode of our podcast because he doesn't watch movies and we have a movie podcast. It's kind of hard to listen to a movie podcast when you don't watch movies.
Yeah.
Well, that's us on IRMFT. We are on Twitter, Instagram. No, do you still call it Twitter or do you call it X now?
Bro, I refuse to call it anything that piece of shit wants me to call it.
We are on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. We have a Reddit, we have an email. We use some of these, we don't use them a lot, and some of them we don't use. So
haven't yet. Don't rule it out.
That's right. Maybe at some point we will. Maybe we'll do advertising. Maybe you'll hear us in more places. Maybe you'll start telling your friends about us so we can get paid and make this so much easier for us to do.
We don't even want to make a living doing this. We just want you to pay for the editing software.
Yeah, we just want to make enough money to pay for the editing software and the hosting software.
That's it. We'll do the rest of it for fun.
Yeah, because we have so much fun. I mean, we get to talk about dick and fart jokes about movies. I get to find ways to say cunnilingus and show us your dick, Michael Douglas. Like, we have too much fun.
I was listening to the radio this week, and I don't know how it came up, but they were like Sharon Stone, who, of course, became famous in, 1993's Basic Instinct. And I'm in my car driving down the highway, and I hear that, and I just yell out, "Show us your dick, Michael Douglas."
And if more people would listen to this pod, they would know why. Yep. They would know why Michael Douglas should show us his motherfucking dick.
Listen to like the 3rd episode of this podcast if you want to find out why.
Yeah, and you'll know, and you will also start yelling out, "Show us your dick, Michael Douglas." Eventually, we'll have a website, and we'll have a shirt that says, "Show us your dick, Michael Douglas," with a picture of Michael Douglas on it. We're either going to do a picture of Michael Douglas or a picture of Sharon Stone. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought of that design. Would it be funnier with Sharon Stone on it with legs crossed?
Oh, too fucking good. Well, anyways, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.